Hello, I'm Richard Claywell. This is Litigation Speaks. Welcome back to another episode. Today I want to talk about professional standards and how we use language from our professional standards that's going to create some problems for some business valuation experts. There are two credentials of business valuation experts where this really impacts them. And this comes from what is known as SSVS number 1. This is a statement on standards for business valuations that was issued by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So initially this applied only to CPAs. An organization called the National Association of Certified Valuation Analysts changed their standards to reconcile with the AICPA standards. The reasoning for that was the NACFA members, the majority of them were CPAs, so they didn't want any conflicts between the two standards. When a valuation expert issues a report after they've done all this analysis on it and charged X number of dollars to do this, we are looking for, or you are looking for, an opinion on what the value is going to be. And herein where the problem comes in. Both of these professional standards to this day does not provide for the use of the term opinion of value. What we have is a conclusion of value. This is where we determine fair market value, and we come up with a, quote, conclusion of value. It is not an opinion of value. Or we can do what's called a calculation of value, and in our report it will say we have a calculation of value that is X. Those are the two ways we can express something about the value in our reports. These standards do not recognize for the word my opinion or opinion of value. So why is that? What winds up happening is AICPA has standards for different things that they do. One of those is to do audited financial statements. When we do audited financial statements, we give an opinion on the financial statements. The concern was that people would have a conflict and not understand the difference between an opinion on doing an audit versus an opinion on doing a business valuation. The concern was that people would think that the business valuation had the same depth of analysis on it that an audit does, and they do not. Therefore, you're not supposed to use the word opinion when you do a business valuation. And I see this, I hate to say all the time, but the vast majority of time I will see where a credential holder is an ABV, which is accredited in business valuation, or a CVA, Certified Valuation Analyst, where the reports will say, in my opinion, the value of the company is X. That does not follow professional standards. It's completely void of the professional standards. So that's an easy way for an attorney to attack somebody, because then the question becomes, if you're violating those standards, if you don't know that's not what you're supposed to do, what else in the professional standards are you not doing that you know you're supposed to be doing? So I think that's easy pickings for an attorney. Let me read real quick from the professional standards, and these apply both to the CVA designation and the ABV designation. It says a valuation engagement requires that a member apply valuation approaches or methods deemed in a member's professional judgment to be appropriate under the circumstances, and results in a conclusion of value. So if we're doing a full-blown, no restrictions whatsoever valuation, then it is called a conclusion of value. And my conclusion of value is X. It is not an opinion. Or we can do what's called a calculation of value. A calculation occurs when the client and the members agree on specific calculation approaches, methods, and the extent of selected procedures, and results in a calculated value. It is not an opinion of value. So these are what the standards for both these organizations say the language is supposed to be when we're trying to convey to you what our value is. It is not an opinion. So for the attorneys, if you see that they've got an opinion of value out there, it's incorrect. It just doesn't apply to what's going on. So I think that you could use that to discredit an expert, i.e., if we've got this one issue that's incorrect, what other issues does this business valuation expert, so-called expert, have that they've excluded in the report or is misstated? So now the question is, can somebody that holds the CVA and or the ABV use the word opinion? If you're just a CVA or an ABV, the answer is no. I can use the word opinion, and the reason for that is if you belong to the American Society of Appraisers and you have a credential with them, and if I believe if you're just a member, then their language is an opinion of value. So I can use an opinion of value as an accredited senior appraiser, but I cannot use an opinion as a CVA or an ABV. So in my reports, I explain that, and in a deposition, typically what we'll talk about is the attorney wants to talk about me doing an opinion of value. Well, we will discuss all these items, and whatever you want to call it, if you want to call it an opinion of value, as long as we understand the distinction between all of these, then that's absolutely fine. But if you have the two, ABV or CVA, those do not provide for the term opinion of value. So, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you subscribe to my podcasts that I have that are out there. You can look me up on LinkedIn at Richard Claywell. Hope to see you next time, and hope you learned something from this. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email or give me a call. We can chat about what these issues are and how they impact your expert and your case that you're dealing with. Thank you again for your time. Appreciate it.